Welcome to Return to Israel in part 2 of our 4-part interview with Baruch Gordon, founder of Israel National News, Israel's third largest English news site, as we join him at his home in Beit El. Baruch, you mentioned the Palestine Mandate, which was actually ratified by the victorious Allied powers of World War I over a century ago. The international treaties that they established granted the legal rights for Jews to return to their ancestral homeland. So tell us, is it easy for Jews returning to Israel? Are there problems hindering this process? And where are the Jewish people settling?
But first of all, we should know that Ben Gurion, who was not a religious Jew, was a deep reader, a deep thinker in terms of biblical history. And I saw his library. I went to his home in Tel Aviv, and he has a rich library of biblical commentaries. And he understood that the roots of the Jewish claim to the land of Israel is based on biblical history, because biblical history is also human history. It tracks where we were. It's an indigenous Hebrew population that is returning to reclaim its ancient homeland. And you have these Western imperialist powers that are gravitating against us and saying, no, you've got to sever it from your homeland, from your sovereignty. And who are you, I ask? Who are you, the United Nations, or you, the State Department of the United States, or you, whatever, the European countries? Who are you to dictate to the Hebrew nation about what the extent of our homeland will be? The land is ours, and we'll define our borders, and we know what our borders are. And we will resist any attempt to do that. So I really think that the cause to return to Judea and Samaria is more of a leftist struggle against imperialist powers. I really view it that way, and because I'm somewhat of a liberal and certainly care for people that are downtrodden and give money and are concerned with them. And I think that our struggle is a left struggle to bring about a historical justice of returning the Jewish people back to their ancient homeland that's rightfully theirs. There's a propaganda war that's taking place. There's a lot of petrodollars that went into portraying Israel as an aggressor. And I think that there's an interest of forces that, I don't know whether to call them anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, but I just really honestly believe that there's forces within the universe and certainly within the human population of this planet Earth that are really exerting their energies to block the Jewish people from returning to their homeland. And this monumental, historical, slow, just process is something that gives them ants in their pants. And they want to block it at every cost and at every expense. And not God forbid to compare them to Hitler, and I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying the frame of mind of Hitler, as he told his doctor wrote some memoirs. He said, it's either the Jews or me in the world. I can't tolerate them in the world. So if you tone that down a little bit, I think there's people in the world that have a similar frame of mind. They can't tolerate the Jews coming back to Israel. The Jews have to be subjects of other nations, downtrodden, and not have their own independent superpower state. There's two ways to fight it. One is on the media level, and here in Beit El we have a news outlet called IsraelNationalNews.com. It's called Arutz Sheva is the Hebrew name, Channel 7. And we're trying to just get the news out, because it used to be, before we started this channel, that you couldn't, before the internet was popular, you were fed by the mainstream news channels, and everything they said was basically the Bible. And that's what you heard and that's what you understood.
We know you have a choice, and so we thank you for joining us for part 2 of our 4-part interview with Baruch Gordon of Israel National News. Please join us for the remaining 2 parts. And if you would like to find out more about how you can support the Jewish restoration and sovereignty, please contact me at our website. You can also help by sharing this interview with family and friends and by signing up for our emails and notifications. Once again, thank you for joining us, and God bless you richly. Anthony Abba for Return to Israel.